Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, fellow coronavirus victims, man, it's your boy on a very, very solemn Sunday night in March in Fort Worth, Texas, where it is raining cats and dogs, and you're going to hear thunder from our podcast studio. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Richie Fike, and I am a 40-something father of a teenage eternal spring breaker. I mean, is that fair to say, Justus?
Absolutely. These have been the best 2 weeks so far. No school, no responsibilities.
Yeah, so you're seeing the positive in all of this. Is that?
Oh, yeah. This has been a great thing. Another week off.
You say that until you're left here with Judah for 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, I can deal with it. There's an iPad. Okay.
Yeah, but iPad's battery dies in about 2 hours, and then you actually have to pay attention to the child.
Yeah, but then there's also this thing called fast charging.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Justus's basic skill when it comes to babysitting is here. Look at this iPad and don't talk to me ever.
That's not true. That's not true.
What a prince you are, sir. What a good man.
That's not true. Okay.
Anyway,
I play with him. It's just, I'm going to need like an hour or so where I get a break.
So you'll play with him for 5 minutes, and then you're going to need a couple hour break. That's kind of how it works for you?
It's better than you?
No, I'm all up in the Legos, all up in the Play-Doh. Just not today. Not today.
Almost every day now.
No,
I am spending more time with the child.
First of all, how do you know this? You're in your room all day long playing video games. You don't know what I'm up to. You don't know where I am. You don't know what he's doing.
I have an insider.
Yeah. No, listen, when I get home, that dude is all over me. That's part of parenting. But, man, the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer, we're going to really have to figure out how to entertain a 4-year-old amidst one of the craziest seasons in American history. I thought obviously it's the topic du jour. It's what everyone's thinking about and talking about in America. Some people are really kind of treating Corona like it's overhyped. Like don't believe the hype. It's just a media deal. Tell that to the people in Italy. Some people are losing their minds and buying all the toilet paper in every store they can.
Mom.
Well, she was early on it. She went Tuesday. She didn't buy 2 cases. She bought 2 packs of toilet paper, and she bought some Clorox. And I think that was wise of her to do that on Tuesday this week before really the hysteria hit. But man, she said she was at the stores yesterday, and I was looking at Facebook today. Some of the pictures people were taking of like empty shelves at Walmart. People in Colorado were saying this was worse than any blizzard they've ever experienced.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just kind of it's kind of an interesting case study in humanity, honestly, and sociology, and how Justin Atkins today was talking about groupthink and how one person starts to think a certain way. And because they do, it affects other people, and then it becomes a snowball that you can't stop. And so anyway, I'm curious to hear, as a, by the way, newly 15-year-old, happy birthday.
You said 14 earlier, by the way.
You're right. I'm still adjusting. You turned 15 years old this year, and that was quite the accomplishment for you.
It was. I can finally start learning how to drive.
Yes. Yes. Slowly, but surely.
Well, I have the next, let's say, at minimum 2 weeks.
I think my problem is I've watched you play, driver video games, and you crash a lot on those games. Do you know that?
Those are not realistic, by the way.
But if
you're going 150 miles per hour.
Right, but if you can't stay on the road on, what is the Rainbow Road on
Rainbow Road.
Mario Kart?
Rainbow Road.
If you can't stay on Rainbow Road, I'm not sure I want to put you behind the wheel of a truck.
You still go off Rainbow Road.
Yeah, well, but that's different.
That's different because you can drive?
No, it's different because I'm old and I'm like, where is this road? And I can't ever make sense of that level.
I can't either. I'm going on a moon,
but
apparently.
You're supposed to because you grew up on it, and it's like that's your language. For me, it's like no speaker. For you, it's like a second language. It doesn't make sense to me that you would ever crash on Rainbow Road.
It should, because it's a really,
Get your life right,
It's
dude.
a difficult level when you're going 150 miles.
Well, don't go so fast.
No, that's the level. You get to set the level of how fast you can go. We set the level at 150 because that was the max.
Okay. So does that mean whatever the max is that's the speed you should go?
For you, it's 3 or 5 miles above.
Why are you trying to put my business all in the streets on this podcast?
Because you're saying that I'm going to be a bad driver, and I'm giving you examples of you being a even worse driver.
I am grown. I can do as I please, but I'm concerned, and I have fear in my heart for you because it's my job to protect you.
Wow.
It's not your job to protect me.
Well, I want to, because I want you to live.
What you ought to be saying is you want to protect you whenever you drive in the car with me. That's what you ought to be saying.
That's true. That's true.
I actually really do drive safer when you're in the car. I don't know if you know it. Yeah.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Yeah. All right. So tell me your perspective, 15-year-old novice of the world. Tell me all about how you feel about this Corona experience and where you're at on the whole deal.
Having no school is fun. For now, until we do online classes and I can't ask teachers questions.
Is that this week or next week?
Next week, 23rd.
Party's over.
Yeah. Gonna be in my room instead of playing video games, typing on my computer all day.
That's gonna be tough for me to police.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And other than that, I mean, everything's shut down. So I can't really go outside and do stuff. Our school doesn't even allow us to go work out as a football team.
Yeah.
So.
You're going to have to get on the treadmill here.
Yeah. Or I could just go to the Y.
You're going to catch the Corona if you go to the Y.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm okay with that. This has been your...
I'm not going to die.
Okay, this has been your general attitude about Corona. Like, you don't care so much that if you do or don't get it?
If I get it, all it means is I get to be alone for 14 days. And I love that. I love that.
Okay, but you won't be alone because there's 3 other people in this house who don't want to get it.
Then just I'm going to be in my room. It's not like y'all see me.
What are you talking about? Who's going to feed you?
That's true. That's true.
This, to me, what your attitude right now is the basic problem that I think is the reason that Italy became what it became. Mm-hmm. Your attitude is reflective of, I think, their attitude 3 or 4 weeks ago. And maybe some people's attitude even now, and that is this. I don't care if I get it, big deal. It's not about whether you care about you getting it. It's about whether you care about getting it and spreading it. And then spreading it to someone who goes and hugs their grandpa, who doesn't have an immune system that can handle it and dies. All because you didn't care that you got it.
Yeah, totally agree.
You don't, though.
I mean, I understand the point, okay? But here's the thing. There's a very low risk rate for me.
Yes.
Because you're working from home. Mom's working from home. Judah is not in a daycare because of this. And those are pretty much all the people I'm interacting with at this current moment.
Well, except for when you go to the gym.
Yeah. I don't interact with anyone there. I wipe everything down.
But you understand that's because we have decided to shut down. Like, I called our buddy Sean Denham. What's up, Sean? Who's an ER doc in Shreveport. And I said, hey, man, we got tickets. This was Wednesday before they shut everything down. We got tickets to the Nuggets-Mavericks game, which, by the way, I'm really glad we didn't go to that game.
You are?
Yes, because the Nuggets they weren't the Nuggets. They were the Nuggets.
It's 2 different teams, depending on the night.
Yeah, when they show up and they're the Nuggets, I'm all in. And when they're like the Nuggets, I can't handle it. But anyway, so I called him and said, hey, we got tickets to the game. What do you think? Should we go? And I texted him and asked him that. And he called me. He said, hey, man, I was thinking about it. And honestly, I wouldn't go if I were you. I wouldn't bring my family. And Sean's not like super Mr. Cautious, like scared of everything. Sean's kind of like me. He's kind of a risk taker type of dude. And he was like, bro, for real, don't do it, because the amount that we don't know about the coronavirus exceeds the amount that we do know. And why expose yourself to something that we don't really know what it is yet? And I was like, okay, well. And so then I called your mom and told her what he said. And his word is gold to her. So she was like, all right, you're not going. I was like, and I actually tried to argue with her. But come on, Dana. Like, it's not a big deal. It's his birthday. We're trying to, come on. And she said, so we're going to give him Corona for his birthday? That's what we're going to give him?
Speaking, like, literally all we know is it came from bats. Someone ate a bat, and that's apparently how it was found.
I have not heard that.
You've never heard this?
That's urban legend.
No, this is reported news.
Who eats a bat?
The Chinese people, because they're starving.
What are you talking about?
It's literally been all over the news the past 2 months.
That the people ate bats.
They were so hungry, they ate a bat, and then they got coronavirus. We know that. It started in China.
I hadn't heard that.
And then also that it's a very spreadful disease. That's pretty much it. Hey,
oh, gosh. We have an interruption from Judah.
You want to come talk?
No. We have Judah Corner later in the show.
Oh,
Get out of here, man. We're recording. I love you. Get out. I say it in all love. Oh, wait a minute. Did you just make cupcakes?
Did you make a cupcake? Is that ice?
Oh, can you bring Brubro and Daddy a cupcake each? Wow, this is a podcast first. We're getting treats and amusements, refreshments during a pod. Okay, so... But see, dude, like you are only thinking about you. That's what's irritating me about not just your attitude. I was talking to Jonathan earlier. Jonathan Diego Madrid in Maryland has decided that, quote, I don't live by fear, I live by faith. Okay, cool. That's great. But you're killing someone's grandpa. Like, stop. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. And not only that, be kind to others. Be gracious and kind to others. Like, the other thing to me that I think is like, I don't know how true this is, but I feel like it is. You know, everything you've read says that children, including you, by the way, could possess the coronavirus and show no symptoms for weeks.
Exactly.
But during the time when they show no symptoms, they're still contagious. Mm-hmm. They're spreading the virus.
That's how Rudy gave it to Donald.
This is what I'm saying. And so, like, man, you know, I hate that, like, today we did our first online-only service at Doxology. I was looking online on Facebook.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. I was looking online at Facebook and saw, you know, pretty much every church that I know and respect did the same thing. They basically had church in an empty room and broadcast it to the world. And... Oh, cupcakes time. Thank you, sweet boy. Did you make these for us?
No.
Who made them?
My mom.
Okay.
Then I got them for you.
That's a good man. Thank you, sir.
Cool.
All right. Elbows. Give me an elbow.
Tinkle.
Okay. Give Brebro an elbow. Okay, that's the slowest elbow ever. All right, get out now.
All right, bud.
Love you.
Love you, Judah.
We're going to eat this during one of our bumpers. Okay.
All right. Well.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was looking online at all the different churches that were doing service. And, you know, it's just kind of fascinating. You know, and this will lead to our movie of the week. But the phrase that has been sticking out to me this whole week is this phrase: social distancing. Mm-hmm. You heard this phrase?
Yeah. But before we get to that, do you want to explain how different is it from doing a normal service?
Yeah.
And then going from having, the excitement of the crowd to going to 4 people just playing the guitar.
Yeah. Well, you know, so I guess I just sort of, in my mind, I just imagined people in their homes, ideally having invited neighbors and friends to come and worship with them in their homes. And I thought, man, this is kind of a unique and beautiful picture of the kingdom of God. You know that the old thing you used to do with your hands. Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open it up, and there are the people.
Yeah.
Which is to say that church is not a building. Church is a people group. Mm-hmm. And the church in America gathered today just in smaller, more intimate settings. And I just imagined that and thought, you know, this is pretty special because this might be, and I think we've already heard stories about something like this, but this might be the first time that people who would never set foot in a big giant church, you know, 1,000 plus church. I'm not going to that church; it's too big. Or 250 size church. I'm not going to that church. They don't have their stuff together. You know, like people have excuses, but maybe just maybe they would come to your house and have dinner with you or have breakfast with you and have this experience of like actually entering into worship in someone's home. And I just thought that's pretty beautiful. And I'll tell you one more thing, just as a shout out. I don't know if it was because of the camera positioning or if it was because of the way that we filmed it, but during both sets, we did 2 live worship sets. We did 2 live worship sets at the 9 and the 10:30, and in both of the worship sets, I would peek over to my left at where Chris was going to preach from, our pastor, Chris Freeland, and there he was standing there genuinely worshiping. And I couldn't tell you why, other than he just loves God, but like, he was really genuinely entering into worship, and it just like encouraged me and it kind of pushed me to kind of really lean in. And I just was so impressed by that because honestly, he could have just sat there and looked over his notes and prepared for his sermon and thought about what he was going to say. But instead, he stood there and he entered into worship. And I thought that was spectacular. By the way, no one would ever know that. The only people that know that are the people that were there. So he wasn't.
It was live. Like you could see Chris.
Oh, you could.
Yeah, it was really weird because I didn't know if it was like an error, but I was like, man, that's really cool to see Chris leading that way.
I didn't know. I didn't know that he was in the shot.
For me, it was more of a leadership thing. It showed that I know that nobody's here, but I'm gonna set the example.
Oh wow, I need to go back and watch. I haven't watched the live stream. I got home and crashed, but I didn't know that he was in the shot. Maybe he was doing it just so he could be seen. I'm just kidding.
I think
I'm just kidding.
I think it was like a camera error that really came like a camera, like really cool thing.
Yeah, like an unintentional, beautiful surprise.
Yeah.
Man, I really love Chris. He's a good man, and he does what he does for the right reasons. He's just not an arrogant person. He's very humble, very genuine, and I thought his sermon today was beautiful. So anyway, let's talk about social distancing. Mm-hmm. So when I tell you, how do you feel about Corona? And you say, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. That's the reason for social distancing, right?
Yeah, I love social distancing. It's amazing.
Right. And as Chris said earlier today, he said, I've been practicing social distancing for years, which is to
it's
say,
my favorite thing.
Which is to say he, like you and like me, is an introvert and kind of recharges alone and kind of steers clear of any kind of awkward social interaction. However, the difference between Chris Freeland and Justus Fike is a straight up hugger.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. You better put your hugs to the side.
It's all that elbow game.
It's all about the elbow game.
The elbow game is on point.
Elbow game is on point, but that means, you got to put your hugs away for a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't hugged anyone in weeks.
How do you feel?
Normal.
You do?
My normal reaction would be to shake a hand.
Yeah.
Doing an elbow is sort of the same sort of thing.
Yeah. It's sort of like that. So all of this has led me to think about the phrase social distancing and the fact that the church is known as the light of the world, the salt of the earth, the hands and the feet of God. And the fact that we are, as a culture, not just in America, but across the world, in this moment, in this season, because of coronavirus, we are being forced to be hands off, to not touch, right? Mm-hmm. It's amazing when you think about the impact of a pat on the back or a hug or even a real simple high five or dapping somebody down, right? Just the connection you feel with someone. It's gone. It's gone for a while. And it's going to be really cool when it comes back, I guess. But like, it's just amazing to me to think about this social distancing. And that led us to think that tonight was the right night for us to watch what is our movie of the week.
We have an idea that we'd like to talk to you about.
It's gonna be online any second. This is gonna be news.
Who should we send it to first?
Just a couple of people. The question is, who are they gonna send it to?
The site got 2,200 hits within 2 hours.
1,000. 22,000.
They don't want you, they want your idea.
We don't know what it can be. We don't know what it will be. We know that it is cool.
Let's sue him in federal court.
If you guys were the inventors of Facebook, you'd have invented Facebook.
Is there anything that you need to tell me?
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? $1 billion.
I can't wait to stand over your shoulder and what you write as a check.
Mark!
Your best friend is suing you for $600 million.
Mr. Zuckerberg, do I have your full attention?
No.
That's right. Social network. Let's go.
The movie of the week.
Movies, see the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies, see the movies. Fight Club at the movies. Movies, see the movies. Don't sleep on the Goonies. Movies, see the movies. Old stuff and the newbies. Movies. Movies.
The movie of the week.
All right, this was released in 2011. It is one of my top 5 favorite movies ever. It is written by my favorite writer ever, Mr. Aaron Sorkin, who also plays a bit part in the movie. And it won Screenplay of the Year. I think it was either Screenplay or Adapted Screenplay. Sorkin won that. This soundtrack that you're hearing behind us, which I'm going to play during our entire conversation, which I think will make our conversation deeper and more mysterious and more emotional.
Yes. Yes.
This soundtrack was by, do you know this name? Trent Reznor? Do you know that name?
Has he won an Oscar?
He won an Oscar for this movie, but he was in a band called 9 Inch Nails. Ever heard of 9 Inch Nails?
Guessing a rock band?
They were like a, yeah. And Trent Reznor was he is a musical genius. He has done the score for several movies since then, but nothing has ever really topped how great this music is. So we'll turn it down just a little bit, but we'll have it in the background. It's spectacular music, and it was, for me, spectacular movie. Now, before I hear what your thoughts were on the movie, because we just watched it, something to note about this movie. At the end of 2019, several pop culture websites, Vulture, Ringer, Rolling Stone, several different sort of pop culture curators put Social Network as their number one best movie, most important movie, most influential movie, top of the list movie for the 2010s. So, I mean, if you think about all the movies that it beat out, it's pretty great to see that. And it's just kind of heralded as a feat of storytelling, really, really creative and inventive way to tell what really is kind of a simple story in a very obtuse kind of way. Like just a little bit left of center. The storytelling is just spectacular. So for me, I mean, I'll give you, I mean, for me, this is in my top 5 favorite movies. It's like a 10 out of 10. I love this movie. And I realized that I just gave The Invisible Man a 10 out of 10. So like what is my
your
scale?
rating scale is really off.
I get that. That's fair.
I think that's why we should move from 5 to 10.
That's what I'm at. I'm at a 10. But I probably shouldn't have given Invisible Man a 10 out of 10. Best movie I saw in 2020 so far, though. All right, so Justus, before we really dive into it, give us your kind of basic thoughts. You surprised me with your thoughts on this movie. And as you started to talk, I said, "Shh, don't say any more. Save it for the pod." So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the movie.
Personally, it's really well done. I mean, it's top tier, but the story to me really wasn't this type of story that I'm like heavily invested. Great, he created Facebook. That really doesn't mean a lot for me. So
why do you say that?
Because I never in my life have used Facebook.
Okay, so for you, you're over Facebook.
I never was on Facebook.
Yeah, you. That's right. So your generation, your peer group, you guys are not. You're not on Facebook.
No, not at all.
What are you on?
Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter.
You know, Facebook owns Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know because whenever I open it up, it says Instagram by Facebook.
Right. I know. That's funny. This week, I listened to a podcast, really good podcast. It's called or Ampersand, however you want to put it. Here we go. More energy now.
Let's go.
You see that energy? Anyway, that podcast interviewed the two creators of Instagram. Mm-hmm. And they had a much less dicey relationship than the two creators of Facebook.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could say the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creators of Facebook, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what the movie would purport, right? Is that there wasn't just one creator of Facebook. Mm-hmm. Although I do love the line where Zuckerberg says, if you were the creators of Facebook, you'd have created Facebook.
Yes.
Such a great line. Which is to say, you're not the creator of Facebook. I am. So anyway, talk to me about. So you weren't impressed with it because you're not really impressed with Facebook. You don't use it. It's not a part of your daily life. But so what? I mean, I don't know why that's a reason not to be interested in the movie.
I mean, I think it was just really well done. There's some great actors in there. There's Spider-Man.
Yes,
Spider-Man.
He plays Eduardo.
Yeah. And so why is Eduardo, I'm guessing, who is a Latino human?
Yeah.
Why is he played by a white person? Just wondering here.
Oh, that guy's not white. Well, he's white, but he's like...
He's technically Latino?
It was interesting because watching it this time, I had that same question because remember they went to the Jewish fraternity?
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Why is Eduardo there? Is he Jewish?
Is he a Jewish Mexican?
Maybe so, right? Maybe he has Latin. One side of his family is Latin, the other side is Jewish. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, I think it was really well done. I think it was really good. But I mean, for me, it's just not like for the expectation, top 5. It's top 5 movie. I don't think it's a top 5 movie.
For you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's interesting. One of the questions that I love to ask you is, was this movie relevant to you? And I think this is the thing. I think you're getting caught up on the Facebook of it all. It's not so much to me about Facebook. Here's what it's about. It's about what are you willing to do to succeed? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Who are you willing to hurt? And how myopic, how self-involved are you willing to be in order to be great? Mm-hmm. You know, at the very... spoiler alert if you haven't seen Social Network. At the very end of the movie, he settles... and I guess this is true in real life. I've actually never done any research to see if any of it's true. But he has 2 settlement offers that he makes with the people that he kind of hosed. The Winklevi, what's that guy? What's that actor's name?
I don't know. I forgot.
He played Lone Ranger too. Remember, he was the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
For which movie?
He was the Lone Ranger in The Lone Ranger.
I don't think I ever saw that movie.
You did. Johnny Depp was Tonto.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you saw it. We saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
And I think you probably were 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know the guy's name, but he's good. He's a good actor. He did a great job playing twins. It's seamless. I told you halfway through the movie, you realize I told you halfway through the movie, hey, you realize that that's two different people. And you're like, what?
He said it was the same person.
It is? And I was like, no, it's the same person. It's one guy playing two parts.
Yeah, because I've heard of like that type of technology. I just didn't know it was around at that time.
I don't know if there are any famous twin actors that are like identical twins.
I don't think there are.
Yeah, listeners, if you know of any, let us know. But anyway, at the end of it, he has to pay out tons of money. $60 million. It said $60 million to the Winklevi.
And an unknown number.
And an unknown number to Eduardo.
Meaning a lot of money.
But he was being sued. They did say he was being sued for $300 million at the time. Which to me, if at the moment that the lawsuit was happening, Facebook was valuated for $25 billion.
No, that was at the time of the release of the movie. The lawsuit probably happened like mid-2000s.
Yeah, so probably I guess maybe at that moment I guess it was evaluated for $1 billion because then 30% of that would be $300 million.
Yeah.
And that's what he was suing him for. I guess he was suing him for his initial.
No, he said he was coming back for all of it.
Yeah, but he's not going to get all of it. He when he said all of it, he meant all of what was due to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, the movie's not. I mean, it is about Facebook, and it also I think it's about creation. I think it's about creativity. I think it's about friendship, and I think it's about again, just what are you willing to do to succeed? Who are you willing to hose? Are people expendable? Are people in your life just pieces on a chessboard, or do they matter to you at all?
Yeah.
And then the whole Justin Timberlake piece of it all, man. So I'm gonna tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sean Mulholland. Remember Sean?
Yep.
Sean and I had made 3 albums. I mean, a lot like the music I'm making now here in this studio, like at his house in his basement. Those first 3 albums, In and Out of Season, The Morning Has Come, and Make a Sound, all 3 of those albums were made in his basement, like at 2 in the morning. And
so like this new one.
Yeah. Or
new music.
And so, as it happened, we were just making music. And then, because my friend Jared Anderson introduced some of my music to Integrity Records, I met this guy who was an A&R director at Integrity. I won't say his name. But he came along. He flew to Colorado Springs to meet us. And we were like mesmerized by the whole thing. We were very much that scene in the restaurant where they order the appletinis.
Yeah.
We were very much. Sean's sitting right next to me. It's me, Dana, and Sean, and we're meeting this guy. And he's revealing a side of the world that we had never seen before, and telling us about the music industry, and telling us really about the limitations on our music, and telling us that. The phrase he kept using was the sonic quality of our music was beneath the industry standard.
Yeah.
And so, if we were going to move any further, we would need to go to Nashville and record an album there. And that's where Brent Milligan came in. And so we did that. And Sean, the whole time, was kind of like, man, I just want to kind of make music here. I want to be in charge of it. I want to, I don't want anybody else having their fingers in our chili, so to speak.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, and he wasn't wrong, but he wasn't right either. I mean, it was kind of that moment where it's like, we're either going to take this music beyond where we've taken it, or we're going to just kind of stay in the place that we are. And so we went to Nashville, recorded the album, and it was a very divisive moment because that A&R guy kind of got in between Sean and I. And I had a decision to make at that moment. What matters more to me? My friendship with Sean, or moving forward in the music industry and getting my music out there? And in my mind, I thought, I don't think that is a fair choice to have to make. I feel like I ought to be able to have both. I ought to be able to be in friendship with Sean and continue on in the music industry. But because it was just so hurtful to Sean that I wouldn't make music with him, but that I would make music with someone else. And looking back on it now, I totally get it. But in the moment, I was like, come on, man, let's go do this thing, you know? I was so fired up, and it was like, we're getting signed. Like, we're going to be on a record label, you know? Like, I was very pumped about it. And I don't regret what we did. I regret that it hurt Sean. I feel like we did the right thing. And I wish that that tension hadn't been there. But I totally resonate with that moment where Eduardo is looking at Justin Timberlake in that restaurant going, this guy is an outside voice in a very inside company.
That was Justin Timberlake?
You didn't realize that was Justin Timberlake?
No, I just thought it looked like Justin Timberlake. I thought it was some actor.
So you thought there was an actor who looked a lot like Justin Timberlake who was playing in the movie?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So out of that whole story that I just told, what you got from that whole story that I just told was that was Justin Timberlake.
No, what I got is...
This is what I'm dealing with, people.
No, what I got is you're the music version of Mike Zuckerberg.
Except I'm not worth $25 billion.
Exactly.
So anyway, we went with integrity, signed a record deal. Didn't really take us any further than we'd ever been. Thought it was going to be the miracle, but then honestly, what happened was integrity fell on hard times financially, and we were kind of in the throes of it. But we signed our publishing contract at the same time and stayed with that for a very long time. So. Anyway, I could just really relate to the movie, man. I could relate to that tension of going, there's this yearning inside of my heart to move forward with this dream I have. And this guy who I've been doing I've been doing all the work with doesn't want to go the direction that I want to take it. What do I do in that moment? You know?
Yeah.
And that's not about Facebook. That's about who are you as a person, you know? And so... that's what I really resonated with. I love that part of the movie. Let me ask you a question. Did you see the Mark Zuckerberg character? Did you see him as a good guy or a bad guy in the movie?
Bad guy.
The whole time?
He was trying too hard to be, as the movie said,
a jerk.
Yeah.
Well, if he's trying to be a jerk, then doesn't that mean that he's not one?
Well, knowing him in real life, he's a robot, and he's trying to have character. I mean, so I think he's a good guy, but he's not a social person. He doesn't understand social cues, social abilities.
Yeah. Well, and how do you know how fictional or how real the movie is, right? But that first scene where he and his girlfriend are in the restaurant and they break up in the first scene, and that's kind of the impetus of the whole thing. That first scene was so reflective of who he is as a person, right?
Yeah.
He's got this beautiful girl who is really making an effort to be connected to him, and he couldn't care less.
Yeah.
He thinks of her as a commodity. He doesn't think of her as a person.
Like a robot would.
Yeah.
Which he is in real life. I mean, have you seen him in an interview? He talks like a robot. He acts like a robot.
Yeah. I think he's matured a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially, I think, after this last election, where Facebook was basically accused of being either a witting or unwitting accomplice in Russia stealing the election from the Democrats, right? Like the idea was that Russians put advertisement, fake news, false news, on Facebook pages that influenced the electorate and caused them to vote for Trump out of hysteria as opposed to making a conscious decision to vote for Hillary. I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm saying that's the accusation that was hurled against him, right? Mm-hmm. And I think through that, he's had to really look in the mirror and ask himself, what is Facebook? What do I want it to be? And I think they've really, you don't know any of this because you're not on Facebook, but they've policed it. They've gotten to where they're more active in making sure what is and what isn't on there. But man, it's like, dude, this is the thing, dude. Like, you have never grown up in a time when social networking wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Like, my whole life, we've always been able to go like, oh, what's on Instagram? What's on Twitter? Just
right.
Easily.
What is Charles Barkley thinking? What is LeBron thinking?
I know.
Right? Right this moment. If you want to know what people think about things, just go look at their social network.
Yeah, I mean,
and you can.
Charles Barkley posts almost every 2 days on his Twitter.
Exactly. So you've never grown up in a world where that wasn't a thing. So it's hard. I think it's really, really hard for you. It'd be like trying to go back and watch a world without television, or a world without internet.
Exactly.
Like,
I live because of the internet. Not like actually, but like most of the things I do are on the internet.
you live because your mother and I love each other a lot.
Okay, okay.
And one fateful night,
Okay.
the internet did not do it. I promise you that.
All right. Okay. There's some young users. There's some young followers going like, "Daddy, what's he talking about?"
Don't worry about it. Ask your mom and dad. Anyway, all right. So let me ask you some of our questions, our movie questions. What you already kind of said this, but what did you expect going into the movie?
Top 5, because that's what you said.
I've been kind of overhyping it.
And then last time you said that, it was A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
And that's the best movie I've seen.
Best movie I ever saw. Which that just, as a father, I feel like I'm winning when I hear you say things like that. What do you think was the best scene in the movie? What was your favorite scene?
Man. I feel like the most interesting scene was probably, I don't know. It was a lot of good scenes. You go first.
I mean, the iconic scene in that movie is the scene where they're in the club and the music is overtaking the dialogue, and you have to really lean in to hear the dialogue. In a movie theater in particular, the way they scored that and mixed that scene, like Timberlake's voice is almost beneath the music, and you have to really lean in to hear what he's saying. And by the way, what he's saying is that is such an incredible moment where he's talking about the guy that created Victoria's Secret, and how he did it just so he could find a classy way to basically buy, night garments for his wife. He thought every place that you could buy it was smarmy and gross, and so he wanted to make a place that was, quote, classy. And then he initially put in what did he say? He put in like $80,000 to start it.
Yeah, $80,000.
And then 4 years later, it was worth $30 million.
No, $4 billion.
No, I think initially he said 4 years later it was worth $15 million, and then 10 years later it was worth
$4.
Yeah, like a huge number. I forget what the number was. But the point was, the guy, had he not sold the business, could have been a kabillionaire. And instead he's only a millionaire. It's just so stupid. And the moral of the story is that guy jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge after having not made kabillions of dollars, after making a bad decision. So anyway, that was a great scene, probably one of the most iconic scenes in the movie. So it's my favorite scene. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, definitely the one where he's talking to Spider-Man, and it's like cutting back and forth.
So we're going to call him Spider-Man? Scene. That's what we're doing?
I don't know the name of the actor. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of the character?
Eduardo.
Eduardo?
Okay. Look.
Wow.
Look, I'm not doing.
I go from winning as a father to failing as a father, just like in the course of 10 seconds.
Yeah. So
Eduardo. Thank you.
Eduardo, where it's going back and forth between him and the chicken scene. I thought that was really funny.
Yes, let's talk about that chicken scene, because is it wrong? And this is a good question for the listeners. Is it wrong, listeners, for you to feed a chicken?
Yes.
Okay. Would you say then, Jack Grimes, that it is wrong to? First of all, is it wrong to feed a cow?
No. I mean, yes.
It's wrong to feed a cow.
It's very.
How about, would you feed a snake?
Yeah.
What?
I've never. Don't snakes eat other snakes?
I think that's true. I think they do.
If it eats the same animal,
would you feed a lion?
Animal,
would you feed a lion meat?
Does a lion eat lion?
A lion eats meat.
If a lion eats a lion, then yes. But if not, no.
Well, did the chicken eat the chicken?
No, I mean, like, does that animal usually try and go hunt other of its same species?
Oh, no, I don't think lions hunt lions.
Then no. It's immoral to do that.
Okay. Well, then, would you say that it's wrong to feed carnitas to a pig?
Yes!
Yes, I do too. So, if you're listening, Jack Grimes, that's gross, and you shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I mean, Jack, what are you doing here, bud?
Yeah, Jack's our youth pastor, and he invited us over to his home and didn't tell us that he had a pet pig. First of all, tell somebody if you have a pet pig before they come over. Come on, dog. Second of all, I said, well, what's for dinner? And he said, we're having tacos. I said, oh, what kind of tacos? Carnitas. And I said, isn't that made of pork? He said, yes. And then he smiled. And I said, why are you smiling? And then he calls the pig out to come and talk and or do whatever. I don't care to know what the name of the pig was. And he fed the pig carnitas.
I don't understand. I just don't.
And laughed. And the whole family laughed. And I was like, I don't understand or endorse this. And I got real quiet that night.
I know.
And your mom was like, I had to carry the whole conversation. And I said, I was very uncomfortable. And it was like, I don't know, 3 weeks after us coming on staff at Doxology. And I was like, did I make a bad choice? What's going on here?
Yeah.
I have since confessed to Jack that really freaked me out. And he laughed at me hysterically.
Yeah, that sort of scares me.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Children of our children in the youth group at Doxology, I've just given you reason to contact your elders and let them know that we have a madman as our youth pastor.
Yeah, you sort of tell me, why would you feed a pork to a pig?
Right.
For me, it just doesn't make sense.
I can't think of an animal that you should feed itself to.
Yeah. I mean, unless it actually eats the same, species, then I don't think you should.
Yeah, but what species eats its own species?
Exactly.
That's a fascinating question. I'll admit I'm not an expert on this, so listeners, if you have thoughts on this, this is the kind of thing that we really want to hear on our Twitter feed and on Instagram and all of our emails. We really want to hear from you. What species of animal eats its own species? Therefore, it would be okay if you had that species as a pet to feed that species its own species as food.
Dinosaurs, maybe? That's it?
Yeah, but did T-Rexes eat T-Rexes?
Yeah.
How do you know? You weren't there.
I see it in all the books. It's like a T-Rex. Arr!
Right.
And in what's it called? Jurassic World.
Okay, please. Okay. You are putting the E in ignorant right now.
Is there an E? Oh, yeah.
That just happened in real time. That was amazing. Okay, so next question about Social Network, if you're not already tired of talking about it. Who was your favorite character in the movie?
Let's go with Eduardo.
So he's your favorite character, but you can't say his name.
Yeah, I'm sort of not good with names.
Okay.
Or spelling. Spelling is really bad for me.
Oh. What happened to academic dominance?
Academic dominance does not include spelling.
I'm very nervous about academic dominance.
Why?
Online school, no accountability. Very nervous about academic dominance.
Academic dominance is not just a thorough process. It is a guaranteed process.
Wow. Big words. Tom Brady's going to the Patriots. You heard it here first. Tell me this.
Duh.
Yeah. Did you think that the movie was relevant to your generation? Obviously, to my generation, it continues to be relevant. That movie does. But what do you think? I mean, you kind of yawned through it.
I mean, the morals of the movie, the friendship and stuff that you touched on earlier, is important. But I don't know a single person that is in my grade that has Facebook.
Oh, we should look that up. We should look up all the people in your grade on Facebook and just type their name and see if they're in there.
Okay. I mean, I have everyone in my grade.
And then if they're on Facebook, do you think we should roast them?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
That's how you feel?
Yes.
So if you're on Facebook, then you're not cool.
No, it just means that you have some, older folks. Like, maybe your parents,
Joe Biden.
Yeah,
Bernie Sanders.
Some older folks.
Again,
as
people,
parents.
our Facebook page is the Fight Club on Facebook. If you want to come find us, all of you
don't
old
have that.
fogies out there.
Look, we do not discriminate against people who use Facebook, but we do laugh at them behind the back.
That is not better. That is not better. Okay, let's grade the movie. I give it a 10 out of 10. No questions asked. Great movie. Terrific movie. Tonight, watching it again only made it better for me. What Justus grade would you give Social Network on a scale of 1 to 10 Fikes?
Well, can I go to a letter grade system? Because I feel that's more
we
comparable.
started on a out of 5, how many Fikes? Now we've moved to 10 because of you, and now you want to go to letters.
Look, I'm just saying, I think it's a 9 out of 10.
Oh, I thought you hated it.
It's really well done. I can't hate on it. Like, why would I hate on such a good movie?
It really felt to me like you didn't, like, after the movie, like you didn't like it.
I mean, I don't love it. It
was very meh for you.
Yeah.
Well, then why would you give it a 9?
Because it's really well written, and there's a lot of great cinematography, and there's great music.
So what you're saying is that artistically, it's a terrific movie.
Yeah.
But the story was not interesting to you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you thought about what we've talked about tonight and watched it again through a different lens, then I think you'd like it more.
I think so.
Yeah.
I might do that later because of Corona.
Well, I mean, we got nothing but time. We went from social network to social distancing. So, all right. So, what's your letter grade? Not letter grade. I can't do this. 1 out of 10. What's your 1 out of 10?
9.
You can do decimals.
Okay. Well, I would go down to an 8.5.
And there you go. That's what I like. 8.5. It's a low B. A low B for you.
8.5? No, that's an 85.
It's a low B.
That's not a low B. That's a mid B.
Well, for me, our system when I was coming up, by the way, this is some old man stuff right here. An A was from 94 to 100. How many remember this? A B was 93. Oh, that's a high C because a B was 93 to 88.
That makes no sense.
A C was 87. Oh my gosh, was it 87 to 80? Y'all help me remember. And I think it might have been.
How would a C be an 80? That's terrible.
See what I'm saying? You're spoiled. So when you tell me, "Oh, Dad, I got a 84, man. I got a B."
Your response is, "That's disgusting, son.
I'm
Go
thinking
fix
to myself,
that."
bro, you're average. That's a C. That's a C in my world. We had to get 94 to get an A.
Man.
You come home with a 90 and you're like, "I did it." I'm like, "Yeah, you got a B."
That's funny.
Yeah. So when you say 85, that's like a super high C.
That's
you're
for
giving
you.
it high C fruit punch. That's what you're giving it right there.
For me, I'm giving it mid B.
Yeah. See how our generations are different. That just little things like that. I don't know when it happened that they went to a 10-point scale, but I think it's made us dumber.
It's the smarter decision.
No, it's made us dumber.
How?
Because you don't have to fight as hard for an A.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Private school, pretty hard.
Hold on a sec. Okay. Okay. 93. In my world, 93, that's a B. In your world, 93, you're jumping up around, telling everybody, "That's right, I'm an A student. What you know about this?" Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Harder to get an A for me than it was for you.
Okay.
Right? Makes us dumber.
I disagree.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think out there in the world? Tell us what you think about Social Network. And maybe some of you guys are young and you think I'm terribly stupid for saying the things that I've said. And you want to support Justus. Go right ahead. We'd love to hear your thoughts. All of Justus's friends, get on Twitter and tell us what you thought about our review of Social Network. And tell us about what animals eat other animals, because I don't know. And tell us about whether you think it's a good or a bad thing that we have a 10-point scale, and you have to be over 30. You have to be over 30.
That's not fair.
If you're over 30 and you think a 10-point scale is good, I want to hear from you, okay? But if you're under 30 and you think a 10-point scale is great, you're called a millennial, and I'm not interested in hearing it.
Millennials go up to the age of 40.
Right, but there's
Mom's probably mom a millennial?
Hold on, but older millennials, they have some POMO in them. They have some Gen X in them, so they understand a little bit.
So you're saying millennials don't understand anything?
I don't think millennials understand the value of a 94 being the lowest A. No, I don't. Wow. Come at me. Fight me.
Wow.
You know
all
what
the
I'm
millennials,
saying?
man, they're just unsubscribing from the podcast.
Wow. No, they love you. You're their hero. You're championing their cause.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's cool. We
Thank
love
you.
it. Not everybody likes Will Bond. Right? Some people love Tony. Some people hate Tony. Did you know that? There's people that hate Tony Kornheiser.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't understand it. He's terrific. All right, so listen, we are going to talk more about what else is happening in the world, specifically in the world of sports, and that gives us a chance to eat a cupcake while we listen to this bumper. Check it out.
McCarron lost the ball. If the Broncos recover, they win. Ware's on it, and the Broncos are in the playoffs.
What I'm saying is the rhetoric, the dribble, the blasphemy coming out of the mouths of you two. Y'all need to calm down and be patient. Like New York Knicks fans have no reason to be frustrated.
Glenn, what a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
Another play fake by Burrow and a deep strike and an open receiver. Jamar Chase, another touchdown.
In every season, I love to talk about. Don't need a reason, I'm steady thinking about. Behind the scenes and what we gon' see on that TV screen. I'm talking about. They're chasing glory to try to reach the top. The deeper story, the journey never stops. It's never boring to see a champion chase his dreams. I love to talk about.
Brad, I want to ask you a question. Can you have two Heisman moments in 1 year?
I think after 60 years ago when Billy Cannon won it, I think we just saw the next Tiger to win it in 2019.
We really should just stop the segment right now because there is no sports.
I mean, I think that would be the funniest thing.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, if you are a sports fan like you and me, it's pretty dark days these days.
Yeah, NBA, supposedly, off of what Woj is saying, won't be back for at minimum 3 months.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole Rudy Gobert thing?
He was being very stupid, to put it politely. He was being stupid.
What do you think his basic attitude about coronavirus was?
This won't affect me. I'm in America.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so, I don't care if I get it.
No, it wasn't that. His was, there's no way that I will get it.
And how do you think Donovan Mitchell feels about Rudy Gobert's attitude?
Trade me.
Wow. This would have never happened if he'd come to the Nuggets.
I know.
You know?
If he was on the Nuggets.
And they could
No
have
corona.
Gary Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I always turn it to a Nuggets thing. I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. I love the Nuggets.
Yeah, so the NBA's over. XFL, I tell you what. XFL, that might be it.
It's canceled.
No, I know, but I'm saying that might be it.
Oh, no, it's not.
That might be it.
Nah, Vince has already backed it for 5 years.
Yeah, but they literally lost money this year because of going out on.
I don't know what you're talking about. They were the highest grossing thing each week when it came to revenue
How many
and
weeks?
thing.
How many more weeks did they have left? They'd only played 4 games.
I believe so there was 6 more too. So
yeah.
8.
So you're talking about at least 8 more games of revenue that they were counting on.
Yeah, and
they're not going to make.
But it's going to be okay.
I'd be surprised to see if the XFL comes back.
It will. You know why? Because it had over 1 million people watching each game each week.
Okay, you say so. We'll see. That's one that I'm going to be watching for. NBA stop. You know what's a super bummer is March Madness, man.
Yeah. March Madness.
Like, I understand. Like, I get it. Social distancing. We're supposed to, like, this is where, you know, you have to, like, check your humanity at the door and ask yourself what really matters to you. And, man, the Masters is probably going to get canceled or moved.
Yeah.
Baseball season's not going to start. Last year in Nashville at the NFL draft, over 300,000 people came in the 4 days that they had it.
Yeah.
0 people are coming to the NFL draft this year. In fact, they're not even going to have a draft. It's always it's going to just be all teleconference.
Yeah.
They might still televise it.
They're still going to televise it.
It'd be smart to televise it, but
they're televising it in Vegas still, just with nobody.
Yeah, man, Vegas, Disney World, Disneyland, Six Flags across the world. Like, dude, those places are going to get hurt from this. It's going to be tough. So it's just kind of a bummer. But I will say a couple of the bright spots that I just wanted to highlight that I thought were really impressive. Giannis Antetokounmpo donated $100,000 to the folks that work concessions and work at the arena for the Milwaukee Bucks, because those people are going to be out of money and out of a job. But what was really impressive to me was Zion Williamson literally said, I'm going to pay the salary for the next 30 days of every person employed by the Pelicans.
That's crazy.
What? And, like, I get why Giannis can give $100,000. That's cool.
Because he's making $30 million.
Yeah. He's not, I mean, Zion is a big star, and he does have the Jordan contract.
Which was $100 million.
But it's not like he's got $100 million in the bank. Like, he hasn't gotten paid all that money.
I'm pretty sure he got $100 million for Jordan.
Over the course of it's like a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think they give it all $100 million day one.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he's got a lot of money in the bank, and, I get it. Like, I don't know how much money that's going to be to pay that for them, but I thought that was really impressive. So, anyway, sports, man, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it hard for these next however long. I mean, we don't even know how long it's going to be.
I mean, the NFL, free agency might get set back.
A lot of things are going to get set back.
And that's later this week. That's gonna be the only sports we're gonna have for almost a month.
Yeah, speculation about who's going to play for what team.
That's it.
It's been really interesting to look at PTI. I mean, not PTI, to look at ESPN and see what they're putting on their air. It's a lot of old games. They're basically becoming ESPN Classic.
Yeah.
They're replaying games, and they're exhausting their 30 for 30 library. Mm-hmm. Like, every 30 for 30 that they've made in the last
they're just like
15 years is like on a loop.
Yeah.
So.
But I like that because I like 30 for 30.
Yeah, I like 30 for 30. I can tune into that. Those are really well made shows. The one piece of news that happened this morning, I got an alert during the second service, was that the NFL players have signed their collective bargaining agreement. Now, I know that your dream, your hope, your goal is to be a general manager in the NFL. Mm-hmm. What did you think about this new CBA?
I don't know all the fine print, but it sounds like a great thing for the owners and the fans. I don't know about the players. I hope it ensures the players, and I'm assuming it does by them saying yes. But it seemed like a split majority.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to 17 weeks or going to 18 weeks and 2 buys.
Yeah, I don't know that either. I think the only thing they've agreed to for 2020 is one more playoff game.
Yeah.
But they haven't agreed to one more regular season game. That could happen. It said, I read an article today, it could happen as soon as 2021. They could have 17 regular season games, which I don't know if they would have 3 bye weeks. I don't know what they would do there.
I think it would go to 2 bye weeks, 18-week season.
Don't they already have 2 bye weeks?
They only have 1.
They only have 1 bye week?
1 bye week in 17 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do that, an 18-week season makes sense.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a lot of football.
I know.
And you're right. I like the way you said that. It's good for the fans. It's great for the owners. We don't know if it's good for the players.
Yeah.
One thing I read was that this won't really benefit star players who are making tons of money. It's going to benefit the bulk of the kind of, offensive line, the second string offensive linemen and the, the deep snapper and like those type of dudes. It's not gonna really benefit the big stars.
To be honest, I really hope it worked and reworked out a little bit of the salary cap, because I think they should change it to where you have a certain amount of money for each position.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot better than the current system they have of just here's your cap and go.
Yeah.
Because it means that you give all this money to the quarterback and they have nothing else for everyone else.
Yeah.
So I think that's really unfair because we're getting to the point where the minimum player is getting to around $1 million, $2 million for a 1-year contract. Let's say you sign, right now, Dak Prescott to a $35 million deal. When you have that Ezekiel Elliott down for 23, 25-ish for the next 4.
Right.
And then also you have Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And then you have that O-line, which reaches about 60.
Yeah. There
goes your defense.
Right. You've totally eaten into your cap.
So I think
what is the cap?
The cap right now, I believe, is around 203 mil.
Per team?
Per team.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but
it's how many? What's the roster? 60-something?
53.
53.
And with injuries, you're going to need that 53.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the Eagles last year, I mean, Howie Roseman does a great job at salary cap. But, I mean, they were playing practice squad.
Wow.
They were playing like their practice squad at the beginning of the season at wide receiver.
Wow. And there was nobody available?
No one.
Oh, what's his name? Crazy guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't even know.
Antonio.
Yeah.
Antonio what?
Antonio
Brown.
Clown.
Antonio Clown.
So, I mean, like, I feel like that's what they should do, especially because right now, the biggest thing, I think, with the salary cap, other than the quarterback, the running back does not get money.
Yeah, man. And when I was growing up in the NFL, the star was the running back. I mean, it was Terrell Davis from the Broncos. It was Emmitt Smith. It was, what's his name? Sanders.
Yeah. Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
Lions.
I mean, it was like, those were the stars. And that was how offensive worked. I mean, that's how offenses won, was by having a strong offensive line and a great running back,
But the thing is,
like
now...
Elway stood on the shoulders of Terrell Davis for those Super Bowls he won.
If Elway played now, it would be something completely different.
Yeah.
But the thing is...
And you know what's funny? What most people say that Joe Montana, Tom Brady are the top 2 best quarterbacks ever.
No.
Most people say that. I don't care what you say. Most people say that. Tom Brady, Joe Montana. And most people say that the 3rd best quarterback of all time was Dan Marino. And yes, they do. And if you look at his stats...
No, I'm just saying, like, I disagree with that.
Okay, I'm just telling you what most people think and the general group think. And Dan Marino is a Hall of Famer quarterback, and if you look at his stats, they're extraordinary stats. Never won a Super Bowl. I don't even think he ever got them to the Super Bowl.
He did. They went undefeated until the Super Bowl game, and then they lost the Super Bowl.
I don't think that's true. We'll need to look that up.
But here's what I was saying. The running back right now, he could get locked up until he's 28 just from his rookie contract and then, what's it called, the franchise tag.
Yeah.
Like the Le'Veon Bell situation. He got tagged 4 times or 4 times.
Right.
And by the time he got out and got paid, he was done. His career was, getting to the tail end because now the average halfback doesn't play past 31.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. And that's the thing. It's like you graduate, you get to come out of your junior year of college. So you're 21, 22. At the most, as a running back, you've got 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah. I mean...
And those are your prime years. And your first contract is, for most people, unless you're in the top 5, top 10, kind of a nothing contract. So then that second contract is where if you better have proven that you're worth the money for your second contract. Mm-hmm. So that third contract can be your kind of like Hall of Fame, pay me my money contract, Like
Adrian Peterson, he's the only relevant running back that is above the age of 31.
Right.
And he's 33 right now.
Yeah.
And he's still beasting.
Freak.
He's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
Even though Peyton Manning should have won that MVP.
Okay. I don't know why you say things. I don't know why you say things that are biased.
They're completely biased.
He had a noodle arm. He couldn't throw the ball 4 yards.
The year that he was going, the year that Adrian Peterson got
Talking about the year that you guys got the Super Bowl.
No, I'm talking about the year where Adrian Peterson won the MVP over Peyton Manning.
Okay, I can't speak to it. I can't argue with you about it.
Okay, good.
Because
I just wanted to state that. I just wanted to state that.
All right, that's fine. Anytime you say something like that, you should just say, "Fight me."
That's a Bailey Whitener's thing.
Is that what she says?
She says, "Fight me."
I don't want to fight Bailey Whitener. I'm afraid of Bailey Whitener.
She'll say something and be like, "Fight me."
One time she like slapped the window of my truck, and I was kind of like, I was looking at my phone, and she was talking to me, and she walked up and she slapped the window, and it scared the bejesus out of me. Like, I was like, "Oh, ha!" She goes, "Hey." I was like, "Hey, Bailey. Hey, Bailey."
That's funny. What was I saying?
We're just talking about how the running back is expendable now, and
yeah, it's not expendable because if you're a successful team, you need the running back.
Maybe. I think in today's NFL offense, if you have a B level running back and an A level quarterback,
yeah,
and A level wide receivers, you're going to win. Again, though, I think come on, GM, the most important thing in today's NFL, in my opinion, is your offensive line. I think if your offensive line doesn't protect your quarterback and doesn't advance the ball down the field on running situations, then you're just going to get ate for lunch.
That's why the 49ers are special.
Yeah.
Because I think the 49ers are doing something really good. I believe the Cowboys, they have a great O-line and a great D-line. The Saints done something really great with that.
The fact that they have a great O-line and a great quarterback is why Jason Garrett got fired.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, no excuses, bro.
Like, you have the best O-line, a top 15 quarterback, the arguably best running back. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And now he's going to be the OC of the Giants.
That's going to be interesting. So, man, sports it's like talking about a bygone era right now. We're going to miss it. Can't wait for it to come back.
But we do have to do one last thing.
What?
Final Tom Brady prediction.
Okay, here we go. By the way, go ahead, say what you're going to say, and then I'm going to tell the listeners what you told me the other day. Go ahead.
He's going to Tampa Bay.
Okay, this is what you told me. So, what?
One, Tampa Bay has $80 million in cap space. You know what that means? They have enough to add Antonio Brown. That's what he wants. Two, they have a pretty good O-line and a pretty good D-line and a decent cornerback crew and safeties. Also, they have a wonderful, wonderful wide receiver crew with Cameron Bray, what's his name? O.J. Howard out of Bama.
Yeah.
Mike Evans. You know the school. Come on, say it.
Mike Evans. I don't.
Johnny Football. Johnny Manziel.
Oh, A&M.
And Chris Godwin.
Don't they have a Tiger?
Yeah. Devin White.
Yeah, but they have a Tiger receiver, too.
No.
They don't?
No.
I thought they did.
They have Devin White, and then also their linebacking core has Devin White.
Yeah.
Who I think is going to be a stud.
He's not going to be.
He is a stud.
How you doing?
How you doing?
That's right. You can't teach that.
Can't teach that.
I miss it.
I do too. That's obviously the landing spot, because why would you want to go to the Chargers with Dean Spanos? And the Raiders, they're one of the poorest teams.
The Raiders thing made more sense to me than the Chargers thing. Because Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, there's no history. It's like when the Raiders moved to Vegas, it's a totally clean slate.
Uh-huh.
And for them to make a clean slate with a guy named Tom Brady, that's pretty special.
Yeah.
So anyway.
There's also some bias there because I really don't want Tom Brady in the division.
Yes. I think everything that you've said about Tom Brady has been a verbal prayer. You are praying that the Lord Jesus would hear your ideas and go, "Well, I hadn't thought of that." And then he would send his Holy Spirit to intercede and make things move and make things change.
Also,
I don't think you have believed anything that you have said about any of this. Joe Burrow to the Patriots. I don't think you believe that.
No, I was throwing out an idea.
Okay, we'll go back and listen to how...
I didn't say it was going to happen. I said there's a chance.
No, you definitively...
that this would
you
happen.
said, let me tell you what's going to happen. That's the phrase you used?
How do you... I think the jury needs to go look at the tape.
Okay, we're going to go... After this, we're going to go listen to what you said, because I've listened to the pod, and you don't. And so we'll figure it out. But man, gosh, I guess every week we'll still talk about sports. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess next week we can talk about the draft or whatever. But gosh, it's really sad to me that sports are behind us. But it doesn't mean that life is behind us, because you did a very cool thing this week, and it kind of connects to what is really my favorite segment. As a father, my favorite segment of the Fight Club podcast, and that is the STROUP Award. All right, STROUP Award. One last Stroop in there. The heartbeat of this thing came from Miss Kathy Stroop, who I love, love, love. Sweet, sweet, wonderful, godly lady who is in our community group and was your 8th grade? 7th grade.
For one semester.
Math teacher for one semester. And in that semester, she impressed you so much that you have said, and you've continued to say, that she is the greatest teacher that you have ever had in your entire life.
Her and Mr. Sullivan.
But Sulla Stroop doesn't work.
Exactly.
And so, because of that, we named this segment after Miss Stroop. And it gives you a chance every week to tell the listeners something you've learned, how you learned it, who you learned it from, and we hand out the award in so doing. So, take it away, Justus. What have you learned, and who did you learn it from?
So this week, with all the Corona stuff, I had a lot of people texting me, asking, what are your thoughts on this? And I went to Nate, because I trust him a lot with the Bible and understanding that. So I asked him, hey, can you send me some verses that talk about what to do with fear, how to interact with that, and how to lead people with that. And he gave me this verse, Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And I like this verse because of it, because I think it gives positive affirmation to people saying, don't worry, God has a plan, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So you shared that with your friends?
Yeah.
And how did they respond to it?
They're like, thank you, that was a great verse for this time, yada yada.
Yada yada. That they responded with a yada yada.
No, I just meant like, you know how people say like etc. Yada yada.
Okay, so what did you take away from that? Be strong and very courageous.
I think it led me to understand there is always a plan. This happens for a reason, and I just have to have faith in God and don't let fear overtake that.
And it is a fearful time, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, people are going like, buy all the toilet paper. As you can see by during the show or the service today.
Yeah.
Y'all were giving away toilet paper.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, toilet paper.
I thought that was really clever of Chris. That was good. Cool, man. All right. Well, that's good. Well, let's not belabor the point. I think that's a good lesson in the face of fear. But there's one other thing that I think that we've also learned this week. I hope that you've learned this week. Judah has learned this week. Mm-hmm. And that is the importance and the vigilance of washing your hands.
Exactly.
And not touching your face.
I can't do that. I just can't.
You can't not.
No, it's just become a reflex where I just need to like either scratch hair, like do this, or like touch my nose.
Yeah.
And it just has become a normal thing I do with my hands.
Yeah.
So like I'll be doing it and I'm like, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
I scratch my beard a lot.
Yeah. Like talking about it makes me want to do it.
Yeah. It's like if someone says the word lice, your head starts to itch.
Yes.
Immediately. You're like, oh God, I have it.
Or when somebody says, man, I'm itching, and then like you start itching.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Do we have a medical professional?
It's psychosomatic. Yeah, it's psychosomatic. I don't know why it is, but it's true. Yeah. So wash your hands. And this is something that I'd never heard someone say before in 43 years. But man, don't just wash your hands. Like when you're under the water, don't just kind of get your palms, but really pay attention to your fingertips. And that makes so much sense. And honestly, just this week, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, wash your fingertips because that's where you touch people with. So, or you touch things with. And so that's I mean, I know I'm hijacking your award, but I learned that this week.
I know.
I learned, and I don't know who it was from. I think you're right. It was some doctor on Fox News that was talking about how to wash your hands, and you're supposed to wash with wash your fingertips and your thumb.
The thumb. I didn't know about the thumb.
Yeah.
That's.
You've been walking around with germy thumbs.
I know.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah. All right, so, man, that's a good one. Shout out to Nathan Gustafson. Nate, it means a lot to me that you're investing in my son's life, and you today get the honorary STROUP Award. Thank you, brother, for all that you do. And with that, that's really kind of the end of our show, Justus. I don't know that we have a whole lot else to talk about. We would love to hear from our listeners. We'd love to hear from you as to... what are you going to do during this quarantine that we're all under? How are you gonna spend your time? Hopefully, we've given you some good content here. Maybe you listen to this while playing video games. Maybe you listen to this while walking the dog. Whatever it is, we'd love to know where you are in the world and how this podcast has impacted you. And honestly, one thing that Justus and I really want to do is we want to be able to pray for and with you guys, and not just be, a one-way conversation. We'd love to hear from you and understand what's going on with you, because we really appreciate that you listen to us, and we really appreciate you guys that email us and talk to us and send us notes. It's great. We really appreciate all of it. Listen, we love you. Be careful out there. If you've got extra toilet paper and your neighbor doesn't, give it to them. Social distance yourself, people. For goodness sake.
Yeah. I mean, is it really that hard? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. We can go 2 or 3 weeks, even if it's 2 or 3 months. We can go 2 or 3 months without sloppy wet kissing each other. Right?
Yeah.
For the sake of my grandmother, please stay away from me.
Hey, you forgot something, by the way.
What?
We have a special gift for all of our wonderful listeners.
Oh, a special surprise.
So the surprise of a century.
Yes, so pay attention to the end, all the way to the end, even past the end of the outro bumper, and you will hear a very special interview with what I think will be the future of the Fight Club. That's right. You're going to move out one day. And with that said, we love you guys. Please holler at us. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and email at thefightclub@gmail.com. Holler at us. We love you guys. We appreciate you. We're praying for you. We'll see you next time. Peace. All right, we're here with Judah Fike. Judah, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
How are you? No, don't rub on that. Just answer the questions. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you and Mommy doing tonight?
Making cupcakes.
What? And are you helping?
Yeah.
Do you love making cupcakes?
Yeah.
Why? What's so fun about it?
The fun about it, you can make them. Also, you put cream on it And sprinkles.
Oh, sprinkles. What's your favorite kind of sprinkles?
A circles one and the star ones.
Oh, yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question. What is the best movie that you have seen recently? What's your favorite movie right now?
Onward!
Onward?
Onward!
Can you tell me real quick, what was that movie all about?
It was a good movie, so I watched it. And there was a McDonald's on TVs.
Oh, yeah. McDonald's Happy Meal toys right now is Onward Toys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so tell me about the movie. What was the story? What happened in the movie?
It happened in the movie in the end.
Yeah? What
His
happened?
dad died.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, his dad died, and so what did they have to do? Son, I told you, don't touch the mic.
Okay.
Don't touch the mic. Come on, buddy. You can answer questions, but you can't touch the mic. So wait, the dad died, but so what did they have to do because of that?
They got to stay with their mom. Then in the end,
Yeah?
they got Joe. Then they put it on a thing. Then I got it on. Then it was like flapped in that. Then someone rescued him. His brother. Now can he go out to?
His brother rescued him.
Yeah, but
Do you think, hey, Judah, do you think that your bro would rescue you if you were in trouble?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, one last question. What is your favorite song right now to sing?
ABC.
Can you sing it for the people?
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Now I know my ABC. Next time, what you sing with me?
That was really good.
And I can get out.
Yeah, say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, that was it. That was Judah Corner. Hope you enjoyed it.